Hey everyone, I'm meteorologist Mark Collins.
And I'm meteorologist Katie Garner. We do these streams together sometimes.
We do.
It's awesome.
We do. Yeah, so we're talking about a major storm system that is going to be slamming the Pacific Northwest. This is a powerful hurricane force low pressure center. And it's actually altering the weather across the country, and it's sending us some really cold temperatures coming up. So we're going to focus on the chill moving in. This is the coldest air that we have seen in the Jacksonville area in 8 months.
8 months.
And we're also going to talk about an atmospheric river and a record low pressure bomb cyclone that is in the Pacific that has just altered this weather pattern and sending the cold our way.
It's sending it right our way. And when we know, yesterday we were talking a lot about we could see some rain. We needed that rain, but also I think everybody got up to their commute today pretty well. That rain broke up and actually stayed kind of south in South Florida. And we're going to see the cold temps dip highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. It's going to be something.
So it's not going to be a sunny day because of this low pressure center moving through. This is the front that is going to work its way into our area, and behind that front comes a series of cold blasts. But first, let's talk about this powerful hurricane force low. This is a massive low pressure center. I put 941 on there. That stands for the millibars. The lower the pressure, that is a lower number. That's almost like a Category 3 strength hurricane.
That is strong.
And it's really big. And there's two parts to this storm. One is that actual low pressure center that is pumping in the winds and the rain into Washington. And then there's a second system called an atmospheric river, and that extends further south into California. And this atmospheric river is transporting a lot of tropical moisture from the deep Pacific into California. And the San Francisco Bay area is going to get flooded with upwards of 10 inches of rain in the North Bay. So these atmospheric rivers can set up. This one is especially strong because of that record low pressure of 941. That ties another low that was in 2002, I believe. It was in October. That was also a 941 low, and that was the lowest pressure ever recorded in that portion of the northeastern Pacific.
I mean, that is low. When you think about it, that's really strong.
It is. It's quite low, and it's quite impressive to have all this moisture, which is going to be slamming up into the Cascades, and that could create the type of lift that would allow for snow, heavy snow to fall in those higher mountains there in Northern California. Places like Mount Hood is going to get dumped on, and even up into Seattle once you get into those higher elevations. It's all rain down at the coast, but in that red, that's where the snow rates will start to increase due to this atmospheric river that's going to be flowing in to that area. So that's what's happening on the west coast. Now, I mentioned the power of this storm is going to alter the configuration of the jet stream. So they're going to be dealing with heavy rain through Thursday and Friday along the west coast, and that's going to lead to significant flood potential there in San Francisco. And they are actually dealing with low river levels, so a lot of that rain should channel into the rivers, and the flooding won't be as bad as what it could be. Now, when you get 15 to 20 inches of rain, yes, there's going to be some flash flooding and real flood problems. But say if this were in the springtime after all the snow melt, then you could probably see catastrophic mudslides, landslides in that area. But this is just a conveyor belt of moisture sliding right there into Northern California, and they're going to be seeing upwards of 10 inches of rain in San Francisco, and then in those higher elevations, possibly over a foot. So we're looking at this jet stream having these large bends, and this is called a meridional flow, a very amplified jet stream pattern. And when you have dips like what's happening over St. Louis, that brings down cold air. And watch how here in Jacksonville you see more of a southwesterly flow. So that's mild weather that we're getting here on Wednesday. Temperatures are in the 70s. But watch as that amplified trough begins to swing down, reaching northern Georgia here on Thursday, and then it amplifies even more into Friday. You know what that means, folks? That means really, really cold temperatures diving our way.
Mark, I'll tell you what, people have told me, like I was at the grocery store and they were like, 40s, really? Are you serious? I'm like, I am dead serious, yeah. And I think, people move to Florida because they want to be warm, but it's going to be very, look, it's November. Put the Christmas tree up. Make the most of it,
Well, it's going to be windy, so the next couple of days you won't want to be on the ladder. I would hold off on the Christmas tree lights till this weekend. Saturday, Sunday, especially Sunday, it's going to be dead calm winds.
Yeah.
A ridge of high pressure moves and sits right over us, so there's really not going to be much wind on Saturday. The winds will start to decrease this weekend on Saturday. Sunday's the lightest day. Saturday, still going to be out of the northwest, but we're looking at winds here that could be gusting up to 20 miles an hour as we head into the evening tonight. So we're talking about Wednesday evening, and then Thursday gusts of 20, possibly 30 miles per hour out of the northwest. And that's going to scour out all the clouds in our area here that we've been seeing. So that trough is really going to amplify the jet stream, and notice how the cold follows those troughs. So what you're seeing there in blue is the chance for snow over Ohio, and then a second round as this upper level low dips down. There's Cincinnati down through Kentucky. They're going to be getting some snow coming in here late tonight, and then tomorrow. Look at this rain, this snow that's reaching the Appalachian Mountains. It's all part of the second Alberta Clipper. So we're seeing the cold front, and then there's a second piece of energy that dives down over the Great Lakes, and this is tonight. And notice how the snow pinwheels around that Clipper system that is just spinning away the low pressure center over Michigan. And notice how a lot of that is mixed in with lake effect snows across Chicago. It's just going to be messy weather there tomorrow morning. So that system will be diving down into Kentucky, and here comes that heavy snowfall into the Appalachians.
Oh man.
So we're looking at West Virginia getting maybe a half a foot of snow. So board riders, skiers, check ahead. Mountains probably aren't open there in snowshoe, but this is going to be a quick dump of snow that comes through, and then a second round there on Friday.
They're going to be excited.
They're going to be really excited, yeah. Some of the backcountry guys might be out there trying to get some early skiing in before it turns to rain later in the week. So this is our forecast here in Jacksonville. You don't see a lot of cloud cover over us, so we're looking at some pretty nice weather, although it's going to be cold. So we're going to get into some temperatures here now today. So outside, it feels pretty good. We're looking at those numbers in the 70s.
In the 70s,
and it's kind of nice, even though it's cloudy and a little wet.
Yeah.
We will be seeing some changes coming up.
Big changes, noticeable changes. In fact, I was looking at Saturday. 2 days ago, I had us at 40 for a low. I brought us up to 42.
Yep.
Still 42 degrees. I mean, but I think it's going to be light the fireplace. I'm just thinking of things people can do to stay happy in these cold temps. But it's gonna blow you away.
So definitely, this is the coldest weather that we've seen since 8 months ago.
Yeah.
So taking you all the way back to March, where we were getting lows down into the 40s. This is our last day in the 70s. So we're talking about Wednesday, all weekend long. We're going to be in the 60s. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday we might get to about 70 degrees. So we'll give it that. We'll say Sunday, probably next time we even see those 70-degree readings. But the chill is going to be here, and say goodbye to those 70s. In fact, let's take a look at the maps going beyond Wednesday, and you can see there's really not much mild weather other than Southern California, Southern Texas, and portions of Florida. The rest of the nation really dealing with temperatures in the 50s, and we're going to start to feel the cool down here Friday afternoon, where we're only in the mid-60s. So that's a big change. It's almost like January weather here Saturday, because we're only going to reach the lower to mid-60s. That's going to be a pretty jarring feel to the homeostasis of the people around here that have been used to the nice 70s and 80s.
I can't wait for our inbox.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shock to my system nonetheless.
Oh, yeah.
As a native here, I don't like the cold, and I'm still dealing with the cold there into Saturday. Now we need to talk about the winds, because once those winds clock around to the northwest, that's when the cold will arrive. Now throughout the afternoon, we're still looking at those west to southwest winds, but as we head to 4 o'clock, you see that wind shift. There's the front. So you know when a front goes by, when you see those winds turn around to the northwest and north, you notice how those wind speeds pick up.
And you think about that
20
with
and
those
30.
temperatures.
Yeah, we're going to have wind chills Thursday morning that will be down into the upper 30s and 40s. So it's going to be pretty chilly tomorrow morning because it's going to be windy and cold. So let's stress the fact here that as we head into tomorrow morning, you want the jacket.
You have to have the jacket. The kids have to have the
We're
jacket.
giving you a pretty good heads up that it's going to be really cold at the bus stop. It's going to be windy. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s. We could have wind chills in the 30s. So you need to convince the kids it's time to bring out the sweaters.
Bring out your cool sweater. You know, do it.
It's not anything to mess around with. So that is when we say tonight, overnight lows usually happen at sunrise. So we're looking at Thursday morning. Now let's jump ahead to tomorrow night into Friday morning. You still see how cold it is. We're looking at readings down in the low 40s over inland areas and some upper 40s to low 50s along the beaches. And then getting you into Saturday morning, that will be the coldest morning of this wintry cold snap. Yeah, it's fall, but it's going to feel like winter, and those numbers justify what we would get here in January or February. You're looking at some upper 30s along the I-10 corridor through interior Georgia, and then those lower 40s shaping up here in town. And the bite of cold will be felt along the beach. No protection there from the ocean, not with the breezes that will be light out of the northwest. It's going to keep any influence of the ocean moderation away from the coast. Saturday, Sunday, afternoon highs. It's going to be sunny. Temperatures there a little bit warmer on Sunday versus Saturday. So if you have to go camping this weekend, could be a nice dry one, nice clear skies for rounding out the meteor showers that have been occurring here this week, and should be pretty good weather during the afternoons ahead. So we're going to take you into the forecast here with the rain fizzling on out. And it really didn't get much rain out of this cold front.
No. Look at that drop in temps. I mean, it's jarring, and the sunshine's going to be imminent. You're going to love that part of it, but with the breeze and these temperatures, buckle up.
Yep. So this was yesterday was the last day we had in the 80s through the rest of the month of November. I see no more 80s returning. I see no more rain returning for the remainder of November. So this is going to take us right into December with dry weather and also some rain-free conditions. So you can see the clouds outside now starting to break up. It's still going to be pretty cloudy here through the afternoon, but you might see just a sprinkle or two until that front swings on by. Really not any real good accumulation. And then once that front goes by, all that we talked about, that cold air is coming our way.
Here it comes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps things up. Hopefully that's a really good explainer of how we're getting cold with that system that's tracking across the country. The timing, this is earlier than normal to get those cold snaps, and this is something that we really haven't felt in many months. So dress right, bring out the jackets.
I've got my puff coat, my floor-length puffer.
Try to stay cool.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah, no, you're right.